Hello, my dear students. Today we are going to look at the unit called Black Money and Black Economy by C. Ram Manohar Reddy, and I am Dr. Shyaonti Talwar, who will be taking you through this unit. So, before we take a look at the actual unit, let's have a look at the author and his background. The author C. Ram Manohar Reddy is currently the reader's editor at the very prestigious Scroll.in. He also has a visiting professorship on political economy at the University of Goa, which is, he's a visiting professor at the University of Goa. He has been the editor of one of the most reputed magazines of India, Economic and Political Weekly. He has also worked in the capacity of the associate editor of the newspaper The Hindu. The author has a PhD in economics from one of India's best universities, which is JNU or Jawaharlal Nehru University in Delhi. And most importantly, the author of this text is also the author of the very famous book called Demonetization and Black Money. In fact, your current text is an excerpt from his book, which came out in the wake of demonetization. Now, before we go to the text which has been prescribed for you, let's have a look at, let's try and understand what this book is about. So, like I told you, that your current text is an extract from the book by C. Ram Manohar Reddy, which is called Demonetization and Black Money, which was published in the year 2017. Now, the government's decision to demonetize the 500 rupee and the 1000 rupee currency notes was issued, if you remember, following a widespread kind of atmosphere of unrest, anxiety, and it sparked off nationwide debates. Some people said that demonetization was a good move, others criticized it. So, this book, you can say, is a timely release which takes a very holistic view, that is, a very 360-degree view, rather than siding with one or the other. Kind of taking sides as in favor or against demonetization, right? It takes a very holistic view of the whole thing. And how the book does this is by taking a close look at the various facets of the demonetization story and what was the rationale or what was the purpose or the motive for the demonetization of 2016. Why was it implemented by the government? What did the government have in mind when they demonetized the currency notes? And the book also explores and analyzes whether the demonetization drive by the government could really stamp out the black money as it had sought to do, or as it had promised. And it also considers the other alternatives or options which could have been available to the government and which would have avoided causing immense grief to countless Indians, because what demonetization led to was panic, anxiety, long queues in front of ATMs, and it impacted the rural economy hugely, right? Farmers suffered, the unorganized sector suffered, the informal sector, or the cash economy, the economy which functions on cash, where you had daily wage laborers, you had workers, you had the unskilled workforce, which took the biggest brunt of demonetization. So the book also looks at these other stories and also tries to understand whether there could have been possible alternatives or options to demonetization. Was such an extreme step necessary? And it also tries to envisage what next after demonetization. What is the government's strategy going to be now? Now that this has been demonetized, what is the government going to follow it up with, right? Because this was a landmark move in the history of any government of any country. So, and if you look at the text that has been prescribed to you, the text does not speak about demonetization as such. The text speaks about black money and black economy, which demonetization had sought to destroy. As in, the reason given by the government to demonetize the currency notes was to rat out, to extract the black money which people hoarded with them, right? The black money or the illegal money which people hoarded. But since your excerpt is from the book, let us understand the context of the book. Right? So the book says, and if you look at this paragraph where I have marked these two paragraphs with orange arrows, it'll be clear to you, and I will read out from the slide. The aim was to attack black money and defeat counterfeiting of currency. Counterfeiting of currency का मतलब होता है जाली नोट बनाना, where currency notes are counterfeited. So the aim of demonetization was to attack and defeat black money and counterfeiting of currency. As the week progressed, it was claimed on behalf of the massive currency withdrawal that it would lead to a behavioral change, end the phenomenon of black money in the country, and lead to a substantial increase in tax revenue. So, we need to understand whether these things really happened. But we can see and we know by all the TV reports and the newspaper coverage that the immediate effect, however, was that much of commerce froze. So demonetization led to all the economy and the commercial transactions that were happening on a daily basis, the business, the trade, everything came to a standstill, right? And electronic transactions took place, but in the absence of cash, much of everyday transactions in markets ceased as in stopped. Institutions and people struggled to adapt. Some continued to use the old notes for a while. Some resorted to barter and some entered into credit arrangements. So it threw the nation into a quandary, into a state of confusion, and this lasted for a good bit of time, right? So demonetization was not a very pleasant experience for people, and in the long run, in fact, it didn't succeed in extracting the black money which it had sought out to do, though with the implementation of the GST, instead of direct and indirect taxes, the government was able to keep a better tap on tax collection. However, demonetization, as was observed by noted economists and analysts, was not a very successful initiative.